hello tomorrow.
It's 7 a.m. This Amber season, don't drink and drive. Courtesy Cars45.com.
The time is 7 a.m. Time check brought to you by French Connection Watches. Available at timekeepers-ng.com.
Time to take a look through the morning papers.
The astonishing picture there on the front page.
For the latest news from the biggest names, tune in to Classic FM 97.3 weekdays at 7 a.m. for the front page news.
All the news and information making the headlines.
This is the front page news on Classic FM 97.3.
We had sleepless nights for weeks before his first tooth appeared. Then it finally came, and he never stopped smiling the whole day. When he took his first step, he went straight to the kitchen. And on his first day in school, I couldn't hold back the tears of joy. Now that he has come of age, I can't wait to see what his reaction will be when I give him his first MTN smartphone tomorrow.
This season, surprise your child with an MTN smartphone for as low as 13,000 naira with a 3-month data bonus offer available at all designated MTN stores nationwide.
Life is more beautiful when you allow yourself to appreciate the little things, the little things. Every day's more complete when you can enjoy the simple things, the simple things. A little more convenience can go a long, long way. You'll be amazed how much time you save when you leave the star 904 hash and light. Star 904 hash. Oh yeah, upgrade to sharp, recharge like pam, 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Wherever you are to reload is easy like pam, 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Shows down star 904 star. The amount you want to recharge and hash. And with one single dial you recharge like pam, 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 pam.
Buy airtime instantly, directly from your bank account. Simply dial star 904 star, the amount of airtime you want, and hash.
You're tuned in to the front page news on Classic FM 97.3.
Good morning to you once again. It's front page news and analysis on Classic FM 97.3. Remember, you can just send in your comments to 33973 and also post on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Classic FM 973, and tweet at Classic FM 973 with the hashtag FPN. My name is Bukola. Good morning, and good morning, Jimi Disu.
Morning.
Morning, everybody. All right, let's get started. The Nation newspaper here. Headlines. Ex-governors, Southwest reject PDP's plan for chair, disquiet over decision to throw race for chairman open. Court alters its order on BVN accounts. Electronic jammers for UTME centers. Rivers rejects police report on Wike and Amici. Iwobi and Ihanacho force deadly, says Raw. NBS inflation drops to 15.9%. Mugabe under house arrest. The Tribune. Anambra Buhari Senate order IGP to restore Obiano's security aids. How I survived open heart surgery. Aneni donates wheelchair ambulances to geriatric center at UCH. Inflation dropped to 15.9% in October. I had wished Buhari's congratulatory message woke me up on my birthday, says Fayoshe. FG revokes resident permit of expatriates in Intel's 5 other companies. We remain owner of Ajakuta Steel Complex, federal government tells GSHL. From the Vanguard, court declines to stop the Suki's trial. Federal government, Lagos government to move to tackle Apapa traffic gridlock. Court vacates interim forfeiture order on accounts without BVN. Nigeria's unity not settled. Angu Abdullahi. And the Punch reads, Zimbabwean military places Mugabe under house arrest. Finance minister also detained in takeover. Nigeria, Britain, South Africa, others call for calm. Robert Mugabe and his luxury-loving family. Senate ignores Ndumi's special request as he resumes. And we start with this in detail. Buhari, Senate order reinstatement of Obiano's security aids. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the immediate reinstatement of the security aids of Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was amazed when I heard, that the governor's security detail had been withdrawn I think it was as at Tuesday, when the election itself is Saturday. I think the usual thing is you plead that he doesn't go with the security detail to the polls, and they provide some minimum security for him. But I think that the Inspector General was being a bit overzealous, in saying that his security detail will be withdrawn early in the day. How is it supposed to function for 4 or 5 days before the election? How is it supposed to function? Is it supposed to just hop in his car and drive around in a country like Nigeria, more so in the east, where the IPOB and I think IPOB have said that there will be no elections. You want him to walk around without any security. I wonder why that happened. Now, if the press release of Femi Adesina is anything to go by, the president called the DIG closest to him and told him to reinstate the governor's security. I think the president broke protocol there. What I thought the president should have done is to say, okay, fine, I've heard, I'll investigate and I'll do the right thing. Then he will call the Inspector General to explain to him and then tell him, could you please return the mass security detail? By calling the DIG, you have bypassed the IG. That is not how things are done. And I hope somebody will correct President Buhari on that. It wasn't right in public to call the DIG and tell him to reinstate.
You should have still spoken with his
He should have still spoken with he should have said, okay, fine, I'll get, and all that can be done on the telephone. We could have called the agency, get me the IG on the phone, and, but not only did Femi, also a photograph where he was giving the DIG instructions was sent out, and I felt that was a bit unfortunate. People might say that I'm being picky and finicky, but I always maintain that if you get the smaller things wrong, or what appear to be the little things, because it's not a little thing. We should thank our stars that nothing happened to the governor within that short space of time. What would we be talking about? The president will be accused of being partisan. I don't know why the IG, gave the order that a security detail should be withdrawn, but all's well that ends well. A security detail is back with him. These politicians, not only do they need security detail for security, they also need it as a show of strength wherever he goes, for them to know that, yes, he's the man in charge and he's still the governor. Well, the elections are going to take place on Saturday. By this time next week, we'll know who the next governor of Anambra State will be.
Zimbabwean military places Mugabe under house arrest. Zimbabwe's military said on Wednesday that it was holding President Robert Mugabe and his family safe while targeting criminals in the entourage of Mugabe, who has ruled the South African nation for 37 years.
What has happened to Mugabe is what is going to happen to all African despots, like in Togo and other places where, we just don't want to do the right things for our people. I don't think I need to do so much analysis. I think everybody knows Mugabe has been president for 37 years, and he was still planning to run for election again. But being 93, people around him were preparing for his demise. So look, this man can kill.
I thought he wanted to transfer to his wife.
No, he didn't want. He wanted his wife to succeed him when he is gone. He was still going to run for election, but taking into consideration that he's 93, and of course the wife has jumped ship. This is a lesson to African leaders. One, don't overstay your time in power, but most importantly, two is that you must ensure that you put things in place for your people to progress. Why do I also say that now? I haven't, just a whimper you heard from the ZANU-PF party of protest about the army invasion. Every other thing, in fact, it was said in the Guardian, the Guardian UK, reported that some of his supporters said they couldn't, with wearing Mugabe shirts, said they couldn't be bothered, that all they want is peace in the land. I have a saying here that I want people to ponder on. They usually say that lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice. Everybody, am I right? They said lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice. But I haven't heard any saying that says that the same kind of lightning cannot strike in another place. That is what I want us to ponder on. I want our own politicians to think about this. If you frustrate your people, it's not just staying in power for long. Even if you are there for one day, but you make life impossible for your people, somebody, someday, somewhere will come to their aid. And it is a situation that is better avoided.
Good morning, GD. What was IGP thinking when he withdrew Governor Obiano's ADC? There are too many controversies trading this present IG. This is Spere Ikenebome. And Mr. Jimmy, the President Buhari was very, very right to have reversed the illegal order of the IG.
I didn't say he was wrong. It's the process that is wrong. Please, always get what I'm saying clearly, please. I never said that he shouldn't have done so. No. What I said is that rather than instruct the DIG on the spot there, he should have put a call through to the IG. That is what I said. Because all the dangerous thing about presidents is that one day you're going to have a president that might not be a Buhari, who will refer to this as presidents, and will be riding roughshod over everybody. I believe in following protocol. That is, I didn't say that he...
So in the hierarchy, you have the IGP, you have the DIG. So
is the IG he should have called. The IG should have called.
Ayo Bakri says, did IG follow protocol in removing the ADC?
Two wrongs don't make a right. For crying out loud. Two wrongs don't make a right. A government is a corporate organization. I've worked in a multinational, we know how things are done. Why should a government be any better? I remember... This is another. I remember back in the day, I was thinking one day, if I dressed like the sports minister to work when I was in Lehman Brothers. Well, let's go.
This says, I believe the removal of Governor Obiano's security aids is political. What would have happened if something went wrong? Then Odede Sunday says, Mugabe removal from power. There's nothing that has a beginning that doesn't have an end.
The removal of security detail of the governor might not necessarily be political. You see that's the way people perceive it. It could just be overzealousness. Yes, that's true.
Okay, and Peter Kwatawa says, like many other perennial African leaders, Mugabe failed to allow reason prevail. Now he's ended in a ridicule. All right, name suspects. I stopped their probe. Jonathan Dares Waziri. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has asked a former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mrs. Farida Waziri, to name the person he allegedly asked her to stop investigating while in office or shut up.
I think that Jonathan's PR advisors have told him to come out with his gun smoking. Anytime anything is mentioned, he should react. I'm going to plead with him that my advice, being a PR practitioner myself, is that he needn't react to everything that is said about him. If that happens, he's going to find himself in the news every day for the wrong reasons. There are some things you just overlook, right? You could get somebody else to make that reaction on your behalf. Some supporter of yours or whatever could make that reaction on your behalf. I think President Jonathan should, put himself in a position of dignity and stop reacting to every little thing that is said about him. I've noticed in the past 1 or 2 months, he wants to react to everything. My advice to him is that it's not going to help him.
Okay, and this one says, Neuenstein, he has a theory here. He says, Jimmy, bypassing the IGP is a way for Buhari to express his displeasure over IGP's Idris shenanigans. He may be on his way out.
He is not allowed to express his displeasure. He should follow protocol. I think that we shouldn't personalize these things. If he's not happy with the man, he should remove him. He should just follow protocol. That's why we have a disjointed government. He should follow protocol. Whether he likes the man's face or not, he has to follow protocol.
All right, let's take a break on Front Page News and Analysis. We'll be back.
Life is more beautiful when you allow yourself to appreciate the little things, the little things. Every day's more complete when you can enjoy the simple things, the simple things. A little more convenience can go a long, long way. You'll be amazed how much time you save, yo, when you leave the star 904 hash in life. Star 904 hash. Oh yeah, upgrade to sharp, sharp, recharge like pam, 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Wherever you are to reload is easy like pam, 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 pam. Star 904 hash. Shows down star 904 star. The amount you want to recharge and hash. And with one single dial you recharge like pam, 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 pam.
Buy airtime instantly, directly from your bank account. Simply dial star 904 star, the amount of airtime you want, and hash.
So, what did you do when you got your first bike?
I rode into all my friends' houses in one day.
When you got your first sunglasses?
Whoa, I was so excited I wore it even at night.
And your first wristwatch?
Awesome! I swam with it and wore it to sleep every night for 7 good days.
And now that you're in secondary school, what will you do when you get your first smartphone?
Yay! The whole world will hear me scream.
This season, surprise your child with an MTN smartphone for as low as 13,000 Naira with a 3-month data bonus offer. Available at all designated MTN stores nationwide.
You're tuned in to the front page news on Classic FM 97.3.
It's front page news on Classic FM 97.3. And let's take some of your comments from our Facebook page. Ido Olufemi says, withdrawing Obiano's security detail at this time is rude. Buhari's immediate action is very much commendable. Yes, he should have done it through the right channel, but the question is whether there is any right channel in Nigeria. Adiola Bablu says, good morning, JD and Bukola.
That's an unfortunate thought. We should always insist that the right thing should be done. Okay, go on.
He says, no matter how you want to put it, let us put Zimbabweans first and remember that the worst civilian government is better than the best military government. So, do you think...
Well, that is now subject to debate. It's subject to debate. Sometimes we can have a debate on whether a full-blown democracy is always better than dictatorship. It's subject to debate.
All right. TSA $21.3 million trapped in Heritage Bank. NPA tells reps. About $21.3 million of federal government's funds held for the Nigerian Ports Authority by Heritage Bank have been trapped in the vault of the lenders since 2016, the NPA told the House of Representatives in Abuja on Wednesday.
Now, that is the most unfortunate scenario that we have here. And the managing director of NPA, Adiza Usman, said that efforts to get the bank, that is to get Heritage Bank, to remit the money into the Treasury single account had so far met a brick wall. And she appeared before the panel yesterday. And she said, according to Usman, Heritage Bank's reason for not remitting the money is that if such a huge withdrawal is allowed, it will have stress on the bank. And she says that we wrote the CBN a number of letters and they promised to provide a guarantee. Up till date, they have not given us a guarantee. I think the CBN needs to step into this. If you have $21.3 million of your money in a bank and you can't get, that's what it is. Though the law says that all funds should go to TSA. If the bank is still sitting on $21.3 million because according to them and according to this story, it will stress the bank, then the bank itself needs to go through a stress test. I think the CBN needs to make a pronouncement. You remember about a year ago, we had this problem with Heritage Bank and CBN, saying whether they were viable or not. I think the CBN needs to come in. And because what is going to happen is that those who have money in Heritage Bank now will be sitting scared. That's what it means. That's what it means. And I wonder why the NPA allowed this to last for so long. Because they say since 2016, they haven't been able to withdraw $21.3 million of the federal government funds to put in the TSA account. So I hope that both Heritage Bank and the CBN will react to this and give us a clear a clear idea of what is going on here. But it doesn't look good.
Audifax is telling you here, he says, Jimmy, JD, your fixation on due process is too much. When an animal runs dangerously, the hunter shoots dangerously.
The lack of due process is what has got us to where we are now. We're such a disjointed country. Is that the kind of country that we want? It's the lack of due process that makes it possible for somebody to dip all his 10 fingers into a large cookie jar and take as much as he wants in cash. We can't continue to run. You have a TSA policy, you have this kind of amount in the bank, for example, and the bank says that they won't give the federal government back its money. It's a lack of due process. We just, we take things for granted. Okay, fine, maybe the owners of the bank are well connected or only God knows. But we can't continue to run our country in such an irresponsible manner. And I wonder why people are pulling hairs over the fact that the president didn't follow due process. It's clear to anybody. You don't go above somebody's, you don't go give instructions of that nature, above the boss's head.
And Daddy Yankee is saying, why are people defending the indefensible in a matter so straightforward?
It's a straightforward thing.
IGP. Is it because it's Buhari? And okay, we move on to the Metro News here.
We always have all kinds of reasons. Is it because it's a northerner? Is it because it's an ex-soldier? Oh dear. Okay. Okay. Lagos State issues Muiz Banire's 90-year-old mother 48-hour demolition notice. And it is said that Muiz Banire's 90-year-old mother, she lives on Remi Fanekaude Street in GRA, and she was given a 48-hour demolition notice, according to this report. I won't say more than that on that. I leave you to judge such things. Imo couple sell first child on credit. That's very unfortunate. Job seeker pays fraudster 1 million for NNPC employment. But if a job seeker already has 1 million, isn't that strange, Buki? He pays for employment in NNPC, 1 million. And then it says that a job seeker, Abiola Agote, has fallen victim to a fraudster who impersonated the Lagos-based telecoms mogul, Mike Adenuga. The suspect had reportedly opened a Facebook account using the name and picture of the businessman. This happens all the time. This man Namugu. I'm sorry, apologies. Hoodlums attack Kwara community over handout from local artists. 1004, Lagos CP waits in as workers lament police harassment. Let me go to the Vanguard, another Lagos story. Otodo Gbame eviction. Victims lay siege to Governor Ambode's office and demand resettlement. Dear. Abducted octogenarian professor found dead in Benin. As Edo donates 500,000 to widow of farmer killed by herdsmen. And there's this robbery suspect in Mina who says that he will not beg for leniency. He says he gets what he deserves. They should sentence him and send him straight to prison. He doesn't mind. He'll go and serve out his prison term. This is a photograph, but it shows that there's something coming up called Fela and the Kalakuta Queens. And I think it's being sponsored by the MTN Foundation. It's coming up most likely at Terra Culture anytime from now. Local content. Senate seeks immigration service assistance. NCC NAPTIP partner to end human trafficking. You lied. Jonathan tells Waziri, ex-EFCC boss. I've already spoken about that. And this one again. Court vacates interim forfeiture order on accounts without BVN. FEC okays 458 million for implementation of ERGP, whatever that is. An illegal arms possession. Court declines to stop Dasuki's trial. Drama as Ndume resumes after 90 legislative days suspension, and he gives an explanation as to why he went to court. And this one, FG, Lagos government moved to tackle Apapa traffic gridlock, and it says Ambode Israel tax because it is task force to restore sanity. I think we have the vice president to thank. I think he was here sometime this week or last week.
He had some aerial view.
And we cannot thank him enough for whipping everybody into action and helping us. We suffered, those of us who come from the mainland to the island on a daily basis, we go through hard. Even just this morning, I went through the same. So we thank Professor Shibaju for waking everybody up. And
Well,
now,
we're yet to see this take effect.
well, at least now that they've woken up, they're reading the Riot Act and reconstituting a task force. This is almost 1 year and some months, since we've been going through hard times. The traffic in Lagos is unimaginable. But I stop there. I don't want to.
Ashay Williams says Heritage Bank is owned by one top-shot political familia in Nigeria, and a family, probably that's what he wanted to say. And Peter Opato says some banks have for a long time survived from low-hanging fruits. The TSA opened up that reality.
I think the owner of the bank is an open secret, but that's not for me to reveal.
Emirs Ijola says we continue to act in error because we hate rules and procedures. When Nigerians uphold strong institutions, DIG's goof, PMB's response and Mainagate won't happen. And Abbas Oladipo says it's lack of due process that brought us where we are now. We don't build on structure. Rather, we bring in our individual ideas into how things are to be done in public spaces. What a country we are. Police lied over attack on Wiki's convoy, says Rivers government. Rivers State government has described as misleading and unfortunate a report released by the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Zaki Ahmed, saying that neither Governor Nyesom Wike's life nor that of the Minister of Transportation, Mr. Chibuike Amechi, was threatened last Saturday at the scene of the incident involving convoys of the duo.
I don't know why these people just won't back off this incident. Look at a statement from government. I actually saw the video. It's gone viral. And the government says, this is the part that bothers me. A government is issuing this statement. From the totality of the statement of the police in Rivers State, it is very obvious that plans and strategies have reached advanced stages to eliminate the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Nyesom Wike, and the incident of last Saturday is a manifestation of the plans of the police. This is a reckless and irresponsible statement. Are you saying that Amechi in his car was planning to shoot or whatever to assassinate Wike? Why do we issue all these infantile statements and hit up the polity? I don't know why we do this. I'm even surprised this is still coming up. What I saw from the video was just some overzealousness on the part of the aides of both of them. Okay, it was an accident. Then for the government to still issue a statement to say that it is very obvious that plans and strategies have reached advanced stages to eliminate is a very unfortunate statement. And I ask that, look, one of the things we need to do when we do have some reforms in this country is this issue of what's it now? Oh my God, I've forgotten this very common word.
It's immunity.
Immunity, thank you.
It happens. It happens.
But it didn't help me. He was just looking at me. Thank you, Buki. Immunity. Because this immunity has led to I don't think an ordinary citizen had made this kind of statement, he'd have questions to answer. The same thing the wicked gentleman did with the COI funds, and he said that the funds belongs to the Rivers State government. I think we need to be careful, and we need to take a look at what's going on in Zimbabwe. That saying that I said this morning, it has its implications.
All right, Patrick Omitoki says the story behind the Heritage Bank calls for concern, especially if CBN has been contacted and no action since 2016. What will happen to the depositors' fund? And Oshosanya says, what has been the action of the academic community to the Otudubame and other land reclamation issues? And
I think that there's some kind of fatigue with issues in Lagos State. I think there's a fatigue. For example, I'm fatigued. How many issues are you going to be commenting on? And you don't get any response. So,
Jimmy, thank you very much for being a part of the show this morning. Yes, time for you to go.
Time for me to go.
And Sports Express is right after.
Let me pack my things and get out of here.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
So, what did you do when you got your first bike?
I rode into all my friends' houses in one day.
When you got your first sunglasses?
Whoa, I was so excited I wore it even at night.
And your first wristwatch?
Awesome! I swam with it and wore it to sleep every night for 7 good days.
And now that you're in secondary school, what will you do when you get your first smartphone?
Yay! Hey, the whole world will hear me scream.
This season, surprise your child with an MTN smartphone for as low as 13,000 Naira with a 3-month data bonus offer available at all designated MTN stores nationwide.
And that's it on the front page news on Classic FM 97.3. Stay tuned. Classic 97.3.
I just can't stop loving you.
Classic, classic, classic. Classic FM. This is Sports Express. This program is brought to you by MTN.
And the Russian lineup is complete as Australia and Peru pick final World Cup slots after playoff victories. And it's touchdown tonight at the TD Garden as conference leaders Golden State and Boston Celtics clash in a monster matchup in the NBA. My name is DJ Motoimbo. Welcome to Sports Express, brought to you by MTN.
We had sleepless nights for weeks before his first tooth appeared. Then it finally came, and he never stopped smiling the whole day.